I tend to overthink and overcomplicate things. I think a lot of us do. The need to have all the pieces just so before feeling confident enough to start and move forward is extremely common. To start eating healthier, to start working out, to start slowing down, prioritizing sleep, rest, or other healthy habits we know we should be doing. We think, I need to know the perfect gut healing diet before I start eating better. Or, I need someone to tell me exactly how many macros I should eat to lose weight. Or, I need to know exactly what I can and can't eat so I'll finally have energy and not feel so stressed and bloated. Once I know this, then I'll have the motivation to start taking care of my health. Except it doesn't work that way, and you don't need to have all the steps laid out before you take the first one. If healthy eating feels too overwhelming, this video is for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Asher Kleiber. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, and I love helping women nourish their bodies so they can feel more calm, energetic, and improve their digestion. I ordered a bunch of spices. I actually ordered them on Amazon, but they're all organic. And I've been needing some of these for a really long time. I just always put off ordering things. But what I usually do for spices is I'll buy them all in bulk because they're cheaper. And you can get organic spices in bulk for so much cheaper than normal. And I just have them stocked up in my pantry, and I just decant them into smaller containers. So I thought we could do that together today. So I ordered 4. I'll show you what they are. Is this right? Yes. Yes, I need this. Okay. So one thing I use a lot is cayenne pepper. Now, cayenne, if you have digestive issues, and if you get things like heartburn or just issues with your stomach, cayenne's actually supposed to be really helpful and more supportive for digestion compared to chili peppers or chili powder or like chili flakes. Those other types of chilies can actually be irritating for some people. And I find that I've always done really well with cayenne pepper. So I stocked up on this because I've been out for a long time. So another thing that I got is cinnamon, and I got Ceylon cinnamon. So it's called true cinnamon. There's 2 main types of cinnamon. There's Ceylon cinnamon and there's cassia cinnamon. And the cassia cinnamon is it can actually be toxic in higher doses. So I always go for this one because it has all the benefits and there's no chance of toxicity in the amount that I take it in, which is like, I don't know, 1 to 2 teaspoons a day. So this stuff is really great. Cinnamon in general is really great for supporting things like circulation. It is antimicrobial. It is anti-candida, things like that. If you're on any kind of protocols like that, cinnamon's a great thing to add in, and it's just supportive for gut health and overall microbiome health. It also is good for balancing and particularly lowering blood sugar. So I try to get cinnamon every day. I'll use it in different ways, and I love this stuff, and it's organic. So that's the second thing I got. I use quite a bit of cumin as well, so I got some cumin. And lastly, some black pepper. I've never really gotten good quality black pepper before. That's not true. I used simply organic black pepper, but I got like the little pepper shaker grinder thing. I don't love it. So I'm planning on using this and getting a different pepper grinder and maybe finding like a cool wooden one or something, a little bit aesthetic. So those are the spices I got. Let's put them into jars. Have a couple other things I need to fill as well, like my basil and my chipotle, so I'm gonna grab those too. I have all my spice jars here, and at the top I have my bulk items. So I just store everything up there, but I feel like it's getting a little full and I might need to move some of my storage into there. So we'll see. I have a little funnel somewhere to put my spices in the containers. Whoops. I think this one will work. I got a couple containers on Amazon, and then I also use Simply Organic containers, and then they're all this square, and they all like look very uniform and very cute. I'm also decanting some of my collagen, whole body collagen. This is by Designs for Health. I've been using this for a couple months. Again, I took a break from collagen and now I'm back at it. So I love this. I will link this down below if you're looking for a good collagen. It's fully grass-fed and it has a lot of different types of collagen in there, unlike most of the collagen you get in the store these days. So I'm gonna do my cinnamon first. I've been out of cinnamon for so long and I'm so excited to have it back because I use it all the time. It smells so good. I see why they give you a funnel, because this one doesn't work as well for powders. Ooh, hold that thought. When I ordered these spice jars on Amazon, they came with this, which I think works a lot better. So we're gonna use that. So this is cinnamon. Oh yeah, that's so much easier. Falls right in. Does anyone else love putting things into containers like this? I don't know why it's so fun. I think you just, because you know it's gonna be so pretty after. It's like, yes, it's so satisfying. Oh, I think we can fit a little bit more. I usually get it everywhere, but I think we're doing pretty good. Oh, I'm gonna add more. Oh my gosh, there we go. Spoke too soon. I'm done. I just got it all over the counter. That's okay. Oh my gosh, we're good. I can do this. I can put cinnamon in a jar. Beautiful. Okay, I washed it, so we're not gonna mix flavors. Let's do the cumin next. These are both cinnamon. Oops. Oh my gosh, I just inhaled it. Don't inhale the cayenne pepper. So one thing I want to mention about spices is that when you're looking for them, I would encourage you to purchase them organic. The reason for that is when the herbs are sprayed or the plants are sprayed, you're drying them after, which means you're going to have more of a higher concentration of pesticides that are sprayed on the crops. So I would just encourage you for things like dried herbs and teas, try to buy organic as much as possible. Buying them in bulk is obviously the most cost-effective way. The second thing to look for is make sure that the brands of spices you're buying have, first of all, they have no other ingredients. If it's a spice blend, make sure the ingredients are clean and whole foods. So if you're buying basil, it should be one single ingredient, basil. There shouldn't be things like titanium dioxide or other anti-caking agents. There shouldn't be sugars, oils, or anything else in there. It should just be the whole food spice. And third, when you're buying spices is to make sure the company you're buying from is non-irradiated. Make sure they are not radiating their spices. So most companies available will radiate their spices. So if you ask them, hey, do you use radiation? Are they non-irradiated? Basically is what you can say. And if they don't know, there's your answer. If they say no, then that's great. So I use products like Simply Organic. I use Splendor Garden, which is what all of these ones are. They're organic, non-irradiated. There are other brands too, especially if you look at your local health store, you'll find some options. So a few things to keep in mind when you're buying spices: whole foods, non-irradiated, and make sure, there's just no additives and that they're organic. I kind of want to put these into other containers. Maybe I'll put some of them in other containers. I think I have some mason jars that are clean that I can use. I feel like this one could probably fit all this basil. I thought wrong. Wow. Okay. We would need larger containers. I might have a couple. I'll see if I can find them. Couldn't find any, so we'll just go with this for now. I'm gonna have to label this to make sure I know what it is. I am gonna move the cumin into here. It fit. I really want to get a label maker, but I never get it because I'm too cheap. But I always want one because it'd be really handy to have right now to label these. But that's okay. I wonder if this would fit. I don't know. I don't even know if I have another jar. I have a jar. Should we try it? What do you think? Will it fit? Ooh, I do not want to inhale this. I think it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Oh, hooray! It just fit. Awesome. I think this idea that we need to have every single step planned out and laid out perfectly before you start to clean up your diet is likely one of the biggest things stopping you from actually starting and getting results. You don't need to know every step. You just need to know the first one. I find that's often how God works too. He'll usually show you the first step, but taking it requires faith and trust. I think if he always showed us the final result, we'd probably think his plan for us was too scary or too big to even start, or that it's just not for us at all. When it comes to nutrition these days, I try to keep things super simple. I also have my diet really dialed in after much trial and error, so I know what works well for me. I've done nearly every healing diet imaginable to try to heal my gut and recover from complicated health issues. From keto to carnivore to low FODMAP to AIP, which is a super strict autoimmune paleo protocol. And while some of them were helpful and I learned a lot, I found myself far too focused on the rigidity of a specific dietary framework and kind of searching for that perfect diet that would cure all my mysterious ailments. I believe that food is so powerful, but it's not a cure-all. What I did find is that a paleo-ish diet that's also personalized to me is what works best for me right now. I don't feel restricted or like I'm missing out on anything. While I do think your nutrition should be personalized to you, within the framework of any nutritional regimen, there are some common themes and guidelines we can pull from it. Eat real food. Did it come from a farm or from a factory? From the earth or from a box? Can you grow it or raise it? Has it been chemically altered, or could you find it in the wild? Would our great-grandparents have been able to find it or eat it? These are questions we never thought we'd have to ask ourselves. But these days, these questions are more important than ever, because our food supply is simply not the same as it used to be. And in the most simple terms, these days, most people are not eating real food at all. It's an altered version of food created to trick our brains and fire up our taste buds and keep us coming back for more. Eat food that has been grown or raised, that doesn't have a nutrition label, and that hasn't been doused with chemicals, aka eat organic as much as possible and not from a package. Yes, it will be more expensive, but just do what you can. Your health depends on it. I don't eat 100% organic all of the time, and I don't eat every single meal at home, but I do the best I can. Eat for nutrient density, not caloric density. What does this mean? Forget calories and eat foods that are going to provide rich, abundant nutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, protein, healthy fats, and healthy carbohydrates in moderation. When you start to focus on what your food can give you, energy, strength, focus, calm, you'll want to reach for those healthy foods a lot more often. Is that sugary muffin and coffee you usually have for breakfast sustaining you well? Or is that 10 a.m. crash and binge eating chocolate after dinner inevitable at this point? When you start to choose foods that truly nourish you, your brain and body can start to function at its best. Eat a variety of foods. By this, I don't mean junk food, I mean a variety of real whole foods. The more variety you can get, especially when it comes to vegetables, the more expansive your nutritional profile will be, the more diverse gut bacteria you'll have, and the better off your health will be. I don't have the most expansive diet, but I've worked really hard to expand it as my gut has healed more and more. It's still something I'm working on, but it's really important. Eat anti-inflammatory foods and avoid inflammatory foods. I know that is not as simple as it sounds sometimes, because you look on social media and you see the person that is saying, all animal products are bad, don't eat dairy, don't eat meat, it's horrible for you, it's horrible for digestion, and plants are the best thing ever. And then the other person is saying, avoid plant foods, they're full of phytates and lectins and all these inflammatory things, only eat meat, only eat dairy products and meat. And I am not in either of those camps. I've experimented with many different things, but I think it's important that we find a balance of both in a way that works for you as an individual. It has been proven, though, that eating refined foods, refined sugars, refined seed oils, ultra-processed foods, fake foods essentially, they are not good for us. They are inflammatory, and they're not going to promote health. Things like factory farmed meat, fake eggs, gluten-filled foods that have insanely high levels of gluten these days, and not eating food in its real whole food form. All these things that look like food but are not real food, they are the farthest thing from real food. These are the things that are contributing to issues in our bodies. We're designed to eat these foods in a certain way, and we have just altered and modified everything. So our bodies don't even recognize it as real food anymore when we're eating this way. They're not real foods, they're counterfeit foods that have been altered and modified. So they're not the real thing. And it's part of the reason that we've become so unwell as a society. It's because we're eating these foods that look like food, but they're not really food anymore. Things like factory farmed meat. I eat meat all the time, every day, but I don't choose factory farmed meat. I'll choose local farmed meat as much as possible. Grass finished, the quality really matters. So avoiding these common inflammatory foods and really just avoiding these food-like items are going to move your health in the right direction so much more, because these are not real foods. They've been altered, they've been doctored, and we have been fooled for decades. Okay, you guys, I know all too well about stressing over your food and trying to find the perfect diet and the perfect way of eating that's going to solve all of your problems. It's going to give you infinite energy and take away all your digestive issues. And the perfect diet doesn't exist, okay? But I will say that even if you're eating those not so perfect foods, but you're eating in a relaxed state and you're calm and you're enjoying them, you're going to still digest those better than if you're eating the perfect foods in a stressed out state and fearing about if the food's going to make you react. Your digestive system actually shuts down when you're stressed. So even if you don't think you're dealing with big stress, if you have chronic stress, if you're fearful about the food that you're about to eat, fearful that it's going to give you digestive symptoms, you're going to get bloated or you're going to be uncomfortable, especially if you're in a social situation, it's actually worse for us to be stressing about eating those perfect healthy foods because our digestive system just doesn't function when we're stressed and fearful and worried. And our bodies in general, we need to be at peace. God designed us to be at peace, to function optimally. So our digestion is a really big one there. So if you're worried about, eating those perfect foods, or you're eating out and you're not eating so perfect because maybe there's a little bit of sugar in a sauce, or you haven't totally avoided something that you are maybe wondering if you react to, just take a deep breath. Take a few, actually. Drop your body into rest and digest, parasympathetic state, and you'll digest that food a lot better. I spent so many years worried about how foods are going to make me react, and I do a lot better with it now. I also have my diet pretty dialed in, so I know what works for me and what just doesn't, but it's still something I'm working on, honestly. But just thinking about, okay, this food, it is meant to nourish me. It's not going to harm me, and my body's amazing. I can digest this food. And I don't always say those things to myself, but if I have a moment where I'm like kind of freaking out about, oh, did I just eat something? You know what? You just take a step back, take a few deep breaths, and you just calm your nervous system down, and that is going to kick on your digestive system, and it's going to mitigate a lot of that response that you're worried about getting. It's going to help your body digest your foods better and make you feel better. So remember that. Now, I still eat out from time to time, and I do my best to keep it pretty healthy. I eat gluten and dairy-free when I eat out. I know it's pretty impossible to eat sugar-free when you're eating out, but I do my best to stick to the guidelines that I know my body works really, really well with at this point, because, I don't want to rock the boat too hard, and I don't want to end up reacting, because sometimes it can happen for multiple days, and it's just not worth it to me. But there are instances. We just went out for our anniversary on the weekend, and I ate fries. It was from a gluten-free fryer, but I ate the fries. So sometimes I'll do stuff like that and, just live my life and enjoy it. And when I do eat out, I try to just focus on being present where I am and with the people that I'm with, because that is the most important thing, okay? It's not about being perfect. I think when eating out and socializing, being with friends, it's just so much more about being present than perfection. I want to encourage you that if you're just starting out on this health journey and eating cleaner, or maybe you've been doing this for a while, just keep taking those steps forward. It's not about getting it right away, but take those steps towards eating healthier every day. Every meal matters. So just focus on the week ahead of you and have your meals prepared, have some ideas in mind, be prepared so you don't have the desire as strongly to kind of go off the rails and just eat out every meal, and just focus on taking those small steps forward, because they will pay off in the long run. Like I said, it's not about being perfect and stressing about perfection when it comes to food, but if you start to focus on how can I nourish my body today? I find that that's such a good question to ask, because if you continue to ask that question, how can I really nourish my body today? It's going to be so much easier for you to make those better decisions. Okay, are chips going to nourish my body? No, they're not. Okay, I'm going to eat some real food. I'm going to have, get my protein in, get healthy fats. Those things are going to make you feel your best. So ask yourself, what can I eat today to nourish my body? Or if you're planning your meals for the week, have a plan in place and have these nourishing foods ready and prepared, so that you're so much less likely to want to go to those junky foods or order in and you'll be able to make that healthier choice so much more easily and more often. I do think it's important to learn the foods that really serve you and your body well, because that can be different from the person next to you. And we all can respond to foods differently, especially if, you know, we're on a healing journey. There can be certain foods that might be problematic for now, but further along we go with our health journey, they might be better for us later. So learn the foods that are going to make you feel good and nourish you. And over time, the more you learn what works for your body, the easier it's going to be able to, again, make these healthy choices and just fuel yourself well so you can feel great. I really hope this video gave you some inspiration to simplify nutrition a little bit and fuel your body well and nourish your body. Start eating healthier and moving towards the healthier self that you want to be. And I would encourage you just taking that first step even today. Choose something that you're going to eat for dinner and make it healthier. Maybe you usually eat out on this evening. Choose to eat in, make something quick and easy at home, and just take that first step. We can plan all we want and have everything laid out perfectly in our minds. I am so guilty of this. I am a huge planner, but until we really take that first step, nothing's gonna change, right? So take the step today. Again, I hope you guys found some inspiration for this. I would love to hear what kind of videos do you want to see, because I want to create content that you are here for and that you're going to enjoy. So please comment down below. I would love to hear some ideas that you have. And please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed the content, and stick around, join the community. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, you were made to flourish. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.